I know the question everyone wants to ask a stay-at-home mom is, what do you do all day? I know this because I wanted to ask stay-at-home moms that before I became one, because it's so different from working a 9 to 5. And I would see these stay-at-home moms going shopping, going on play dates, going to the park, going on coffee dates during work hours. And I was jealous. I think a lot of us probably are when you're seeing the idealized version. Just to have the freedom to live outside the 9 to 5 schedule while raising a family seemed ideal. Since then, I've had 2 kids of my own, as most of you know, and my views on it have changed a lot, or at least I know what it's like more realistically. And I feel like there is still a lot of confusion about what a stay-at-home mom does all day, especially when it can be so different for every person depending on what your lifestyle is like, what your baby's like. You know, if you have a mom with a colicky baby, she's probably bouncing that baby all day. If you have a mom with a baby that doesn't sleep, she's probably napping any chance she can get. So it's hard to summarize what a stay-at-home mom does all day, but I want to try and break it down and kind of get to the root of why there's so much mystery behind it and false expectations. But before we get into what stay-at-home moms do all day, did you know that many children's vitamins are actually just candy in disguise? This is something I had no idea about and I'm very excited to share with you. I wanted to get Rook on a multivitamin to help fill the holes in the gaps of his diet, but the problem is that, like I said, most of them are filled with sugar or gums, dyes, or just other nasty chemicals. And we really do try and give him a diverse and healthy diet, but he's a child. At the end of the day, kids are just gonna eat what they want to eat. And that's where Haya comes in. The pediatrician approved superpowered chewable vitamin. Haya fills the most common gaps in our children's diets to provide the nourishment our kids needs with a yummy taste, and on top of that, no added sugar. I feel like sugar is in pretty much anything that's labeled for kids, and that's where the addiction starts. I myself grew up with a pretty strong sugar addiction that I'm still dealing with today, and I want to try and set my kids up for success and cut the sugar where we can so that they don't get addicted like I have been. Haya contains a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals. It's non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free. It basically has all the good stuff without any of the bad. And not to mention, it still tastes great. Rook loves taking it every day. If he had it his way, he'd have multiple every day. Your first month comes with this reusable glass bottle that your kids get to personalize. We put Rook's name on here and he added all the stickers. And then every month after that, Haya sends a no plastic refill pouch so that you always have fresh vitamins on hand. Haya is offering you guys 50% off your first month. Just go to hayahealth.com/embersash to get that 50% off, or you can click the link in the description. Thank you so much to Haya for sponsoring today's video. I hope you guys check them out because this has been such an awesome addition to our daily routine for Rook and soon Finn once he's old enough. Now let's get back to talking about stay-at-home moms. So first of all, I asked my community on Instagram what you thought it would be like to be a stay-at-home mom before you did it. And some of your answers include, I thought I'd have more time for projects. I thought I'd have more time to get stuff done. I thought it would be easy. I thought I'd have time for more hobbies. Thought I'd be lounging all day. I'd have plenty of time to get housework done. So based on that, why is our expectation of life with kids at home so laid back? Firstly, I think there is a big influence from social media, of course. People online sharing their lives, trying to idealize it to make a profit. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm here putting out my content too. And people love viewing the idealized life because it's something to aspire to. It can be relaxing to take in that content, to see someone mothering peacefully outside of your own chaos, you know? So there's nothing wrong with it. But I do definitely think it has altered our expectations of what it means to be a stay-at-home parent. Again, personally, I definitely succumbed to this because before I had my kid, I was really, you know, excited about motherhood, wanted to have a baby so bad, and I was so excited to stay home with them and all the freedoms I would get from not working a 9 to 5. Because, you know, we see these beautiful women with their beautiful dresses, caring for their children while simultaneously making crafts for them, getting dinner going, making sourdough bread, doing a sewing project, like getting it all done. serving their kids, serving their house, and serving themselves, which seems amazing. Like, sign me up, right? And don't get me wrong, I have nothing wrong with these women sharing what they love. All power to you. My issue is when sometimes it seems like they're not telling the whole story of how they're able to accomplish all this. Not all of them, but some of them, you know. Like when these influencers are breadwinners and they're able to have their husband stay home, or they have outside family helping, which leads them to have that freedom to do it all. But they don't necessarily tell you that that's happening, so it seems like they're doing it all on their own. Because having someone else watch your kid for like even an hour frees you up to be able to do those hobbies that you want to do. And I just think this sets women up for failure when they think that's what their life is going to be like and they're disappointed when it's not. I know for myself, when I got pregnant, I was so excited to be able to go thrifting all the time, do DIY projects, sewing projects, and that just isn't the case. For a while it was for me because I had a really easy newborn and I had a lot of free time on my hands, but the second that kid grows up and starts having needs, there's no time for those things. Like, you're really just living to keep your child alive. Like, trying to browse at a store with children is nearly impossible. I take my kids grocery shopping and it's very business, right? And it's good. I do enjoy bringing them grocery shopping with me, but it's very business oriented. If I'm ever trying to go thrifting or, again, something where I'm trying to browse, if I don't have like snacks galore or a show going on my phone, there's no way that they're gonna just sit there while I'm looking at shirts or whatever it is, you know? So that joy is out the window. Sewing projects take hours, and unless I'm willing to do it with a child pulling at the fabric or being interrupted a million times, it's just not worth it to do it during wake hours. And then during nap time, it's such a short period of time during the day and you have a million other things to do. Hobbies just usually aren't the priority. A little while ago, Josh was homesick and he wasn't well enough to like care for the children, but he was well enough to just like sit and read with them for a little bit. And that gave me the opportunity to go through my clothes and like do a little bit of decluttering, which was so nice. Just to have 20 minutes to do something, again, uninterrupted, was such a like eye-opening thing for me of like, man, if Josh worked from home even and could take a little bit of the load off, that would be huge. But that's besides the point. I also feel like some people might expect that when you have your kids, life is just the same as it was, but you're, you know, adding children into the mix. And I understand that mindset because it's hard to imagine how complicated life is with children. I asked my community again what misconceptions you think people have about being a stay-at-home mom, and the answers included that, you know, it's easy, or you're lazy, you're home doing nothing, you have time to do stuff that working moms don't, you spend all day having fun with the kids, you're out going for brunch all the time, and you're getting out of having to work, which is a big debate in itself. Stay-at-home moms trying to convince people that the work you do at home is work. But I just think people have a hard time understanding the difficulties of being a stay-at-home mom because it is so opposite to the difficulties you have going to a traditional job. Like, you don't have a boss, you don't have a schedule, you're like playing all day. So what could be the issue, I guess? And the funny thing is that a lot of these are either not true or part of the problem. It's just different. You know, we don't have a traditional boss, but let me tell you, these children are the boss of this home. In a sense, like, you know, I'm still like the authority, but my life is run by their needs. I'm responding to them all day just as you would to a boss, right? This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, that even if you're doing the bare minimum as a parent, your day is full of feeding them, changing diapers, responding to cries. And then on top of that, if you want to give your child a diverse, joy-filled childhood, there's so much more to do, like setting up crafts, taking them out to the playground, setting up play dates with other kids, doing educational things, which aren't inherently hard, but it is, again, just doing stuff for someone else. Like, it's not like I'm just laying around all day doing nothing. I'm trying to build this little human into someone who is someone I'm proud to be my child, I guess. As for the whole schedule thing, it's true that in a way your day is wide open, but most of us are following nap schedules. So that really like closes off the ability to do things. Some people say like, we'll just let go of the nap schedule, you don't need it. But if you actually have children, I'm sure you will agree that it's much more worth it to have a well-rested child than one that's cranky because you were out doing your own thing all day. And then lastly, the whole idea about getting to play all day is funny because you're not the one playing all day. Your child is playing all day and you're setting up the play for them. You know, they play on their own too, but like, it's not like I'm having fun using the glue stick, making a snowman. Like, that's for my child. I would choose a different activity if I was trying to serve myself. So then that brings the question, of course, what are we actually doing all day? I'm gonna try and break it down. For one, before I became a parent, I didn't expect things to take so much longer than they did prior to kids. So like you have so many hours in the day, but it just fills up so fast. Like mealtime before kids, I would make myself a little, egg and go and sit down, eat the egg, put the dish in the dishwasher. That's not what feeding children is like. Like everyone has their different needs, their different likes of food. And so you're serving multiple people and then you give it to them. They take so long to eat, and the mess that comes from that, I swear, like breakfast is a 45-minute ordeal. It's not, and that's like me being involved. It's not like me sitting around for 30 of those 45 minutes. So the day just fills up really quick because stuff takes so long. Trying to do laundry is such an ordeal because if I do it when the kids are awake, they're throwing clothes everywhere. Not to mention there's just so many little tasks that take you away from what you're doing, like wiping a snotty nose, changing a diaper, snacks, kids fighting, lost items. You're just doing a whole lot of nothing all day. And most moms, I feel like, would tell you that they don't know where the day went because they were running around with their head cut off and the time flew by, but they don't feel like they've really accomplished anything because it's all those like mini, not fulfilling tasks, I guess. And then there's the whole aspect of invisible work. It feels like as a parent, if you're doing your job right, it will look like you've done nothing in the sense of no one lived here. All day the kids are making a wreck of the house and you're just trying to counter that the best you can. Again, I don't know if this is something you can really understand until you have kids because my house used to stay so clean and I would put barely any effort into it, and now I'm cleaning all day and my house has never been messier. One of the answers I got when I asked about what your expectations were about being a stay-at-home mom is that they thought it would be baby toddler centered, but it's really housework cleaning centered because you spend so much time caring for the home that the children are trying to destroy. It just feels like it's complete chaos until the kids go down for a nap, and that's even with trying to pick up after them as the day's going by. Also, the mental load takes time. Taking the time to learn how to parent, like baby-led weaning, wake windows, how to handle tantrums, like gentle parenting, all that takes a lot of research, especially as a first-time mom. And that doesn't just come out of nowhere, right? That's nap times that you're looking things up after bedtime that you're putting into planning for your kids. The other side of the mental load is, setting your kid up for success, whether that's planning out activities, scheduling out your week for all those activities, planning ahead for the change in seasons and the clothes they need, dentist appointments, doctor's appointments. It all takes physical time, even though it's kind of in here. And then of course, there is the actual hands-on work that you're doing with your kid. The time that you're really spending with them, whether it's rocking them to sleep, reading them books, doing flashcards, nursing them, feeding them, bathing them, and some of these things can be more or less all-encompassing depending, again, on your kid. Like if your child has acid reflux, you're spending a lot more time focusing on those burps and those sleep positions versus a mom whose kid doesn't have reflux, right? So that's where the diversity comes in, with the time being consumed by different tasks depending on the parent. And before I finish this video off, I do want to say there is so much good to being a stay-at-home parent. I don't want this to portray portray it as bad. I love getting to spend all this time with my kids. I just want to clarify, like, it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of work for not yourself. It's very busy, and it's very busy for someone else, because I'm spending 90% of my time trying to build these little people into well-rounded, educated, friendly, loving little humans. And I do know it's a privilege to have these perks of being at home with the kids, that when my baby's sick, I can nurse him to sleep on the couch and get to like cradle him for an hour. Like, that is beautiful, and I really appreciate being able to do that. It's just that it's not a relaxed job most of the time. So in conclusion, what is a stay-at-home mom doing all day? They are filling their children's lives. Nearly every second of every day is trying to build up your child and prevent them from killing themselves often. So I hope this cleared things up for any non-parents, aspiring parents, or just helping connect other stay-at-home moms who feel like they're not being valued. I'm sure I left things out, so let me know if there's anything I didn't mention about what it's like to be a stay-at-home mom. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.